I met a gypsy.
So we're at the press conference in Melbourne, and then I kind of, I guess, laid out what I saw Ken's next move should be when it comes to the WSX. Basically, to paraphrase, I guess I said, like, you go back to them and you ask for, $3 million to sign as a guy that will, be their series. You said 5 in the back, so maybe you already had a number in your head. But, I mean, in my mind, like, there's one school of thought that says, like, you probably shouldn't be trying to just bring all this money into the sport. But if you just look at economics across the world, like from the Industrial Revolution to so when we went to basically like banks figuring out how to lend money and then run an economy off debt, like that's when the world boomed. Like that's when living standards went up. That's when GDP went up. That's when technology, so there's some history that says that like more money is better, right? For everybody. So for me, I like lay out that plan. I'm like, Ken should get paid for this. Like the WSX, like they've got some investment, they've got some money there. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like, pay this guy that can, put this sport on his back, leverage off of what he has spent his life creating and becoming. Give him his Conor McGregor moment with a Supercross in Germany where he gets to be, then you, like you said, you hire a PR firm in Germany to promote the absolute shit out of the boy coming home, So I guess, what do you think of, the potential when it comes to that World Supercross, Kenny now being the guy that won the championship, maybe, how the deals get structured, getting paid going forward in that. Like, I guess, what are your thoughts around that whole kind of question that was posed?
Yeah. Here we go. And so anybody that's got a problem with my answers, just call me. You have my cell phone. It's on the internet. Everybody else finds my cell phone. So no one's going to love what I say probably. And I don't really care because it's just being honest. So when you said 3 million, I said 5 million. Some people are like, are you joking? What I'm trying to say here is that when you bring someone like Ken Roczen and any of these top guys, it's like the Live Tour. You have to understand, and the public sometimes doesn't do this, in perception versus reality, because I heard from WSX that even some riders and teams were pissed that they paid Kenny.
Yeah.
So my answer to that is, well, they didn't pay you because you're not worth it. It's that simple, right? Because the Live Tour didn't pay everybody the same. The Live Tour didn't pay, everybody. They paid the people that can move the radar or build structure or win. And if Ken Roczen, it's the same thing, totally honest, if he goes back to WSX or outdoor, whatever. Right now, this is the unfortunate situation, is that he is paid to race Supercross and outdoor nationals, just like the PGA player was paid to play in the PGA. He is paid to win a Supercross title and an outdoor title. If you don't help me justify why not, like there's no more like he did something that was just industry changing. He walked away from a $2.5 million contract for way less money because Honda threatened him and he did it. There's not a lot of guys that would have done that. Holy shit, by the way.
Yeah.
Hats off to him.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That was the only term of the clause. That's the only term in the clause. I don't care what Honda, then get me on the lie detector with them. The only thing was Ken can't race WSX. Every other term was agreed. Okay? So whatever. And by the way, I'm a huge supporter of what Honda's done for riders, the industry, Chase Sexton, Jet Lawrence, Ken Roczen, for all those years they supported him. Yeah, the contract said it, but they still overdid it. Like they were unbelievable. But whatever reason, old school mentality, Feld threatening, whatever it is, they wouldn't let all the manufacturers against WSX right now. So the only way it's going to work is you pay to play. Okay? And right now, I know that's frustrating for Adam to hear and his partners, but it's the reality is that if you want these guys, you, as part of your investors, have to look at this as a loss leader to build the business. I think that's a great investment. If I was running this thing, and I'm not, and I already told you I'm not a great CEO, but I would have went to this investment company, this private equity money they had, and said, hey, just FYI right now, I need what I call slush fund, and I probably would have budgeted around $40 million. Now, if you look at the history of Supercross, Feld, last time I checked, they're billionaires. They paid a lot of money for Supercross and Monster Truck. Last time I checked, it's paying pretty well, right? So there's obviously a business there. And I would argue that the Brazilian and the Brazil, Japan, whatever, you're going to do bigger numbers than you do in the States as you grow this thing.
Indonesia, massive, bro.
Oh, my God. Massive. And by the way, in Japan and in Japan and Indonesia and Brazil, even though it's a poor, you could actually charge a premium if you had the best riders. You could charge a premium. And no billionaire is a billionaire because they spend stupid money. You would have to show them. When I went to look at buying Supercross when I had Wasserman money, I just didn't like Monster Truck, and I'm not in that business. I just wanted Supercross, and they didn't want to separate it. But I had the prize purse, even from the manufacturers, and the end of the year title was going to be a $10 million bonus for big bikes and $5 million light bikes, and it didn't mean I was losing money. You're making an investment.
Yeah.
I'm losing money at the family. I'm losing my ass right now. You think I want to do this forever? No. But the plan is you see the future, and there's real EBITDA in this business. Or real profits. So good for Kenneth Feld and his family. Hell yeah, you bought it at a great time and you've made your money. And so my point is, are we going to get there? And I want to be totally frank too. I'm not asking the series, WSX, to come and pay my rider a flat fee just to show up. So also, if you're going to talk shit about what he gets paid or what he's going to get paid, ask, it's none of your business, but I'll give you details. One, if I am going to do this, the series has to win. So I'm going to give him name, image, likeness to Ken Roczen. I'm going to do a merch deal that's more, by the way, Feld isn't allowed to sell merch at Ken Roczen on site. Are you aware of that?
No.
You know why? Because they don't pay them right.
In the deal. Yeah.
I don't need 10%, 4%, 15%. We'll do it ourselves. And by the way, we do a half-ass job, and he makes more money on his own website selling his own merch than he did when he was at Feld. But you know what? That's their business. You don't want to pay me fairly, call it a day. Where did I learn this? Music. Because in music, my musician gets 80% and the venue gets 20%. How am I only getting 10% and you're getting 90%? It's just not okay. Someday I hope they call me and change their mind. But Adam Sansarillo and Ken Roczen, as long as I control that ship, will not have merch on site. Not because I don't want to sell to the fans. Go to their website, buy their merch. But it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's lopsided, guys. So WSX, I want to give them the right to sell Ken, if there's a guaranteed payment to him, to one of their sponsors. So that I can elevate the... Look, I've told this to race teams and Feld forever. The best thing I learned from the NBA and everything else, I got the easiest job in the world, in that world. If you're a registered agent in the NBA, you go do a deal with the team, and the league and the team does everything else, including call you with all the corporate deals, because they own the rights to everything. It's called consolidation, makes it easier. In Supercross, if I bring a sponsor in, like I did years ago with Napster or Samsung, like I brought Factory Connection, the early brands deals, Dodge. They know what they like. Ram Dodge used to say it to me all the time. We sponsor a team, but then can't do anything because in NASCAR, we all get a chance to be part of the series, right? It shouldn't be just Monster writing the check. There should be the Red Bull Cup, the Pepsi Cup, the Monster Cup. There's a way to figure it all out, and everybody wins. So I've told teams forever, why don't you sign my athletes soup to nuts and go sell Ken Roczen instead of me selling Red Bull and everything else? That's the best gig ever. NASCAR. When I got into NASCAR and sold Travis Pastrana, it's like, take off at licensing and everything. I make more money. He makes more money. We're all happy. But right now, there's nobody there that I trust to go sell my athlete. But WSX, they got a couple of good guys that are motivated to sell the athlete. So I said, all you're really doing is advancing me money. Because if I was sitting over there, you're going to go recoup it. Go sell my athlete. Go into Germany and go to 3 big brands in Germany and say, I got Ken Roczen. I can put you a logo on his jersey. Go to Deutsche Bank. I'm going to give you an appearance, name, image, likeness.
Yeah.
Go to Boost Mobile. Go to Peter and say, Peter, you're the title sponsor. You want the big hitter? What's another $1 million, Peter? You're already spending $5 million. What's 500 grand? 400? I don't care what the number is. But right now it's fragmented. Peter's got to go to me to do a boost deal. He's got to go to the series to do a boost deal, and he's got to go to a team to do a boost deal. Just give him one number in a package. I would have liked to seen the guys come over to the teams a little bit more. I don't want to pick on them, but what I heard from from the industry was they came and did it more as a threat. You cannot threaten people.
Yeah.
You want to grow the sport, explain that and be humble, right? First time our business ever went into China, what I listened from the Chinese was like, here comes big agency wanting to open because the Olympics are coming to China. So what I said, we should open the office after the Olympics because we want to be in the business in Asia.
Yeah.
Listen, be humble. That's the street smarts that matter. Listen to people. Be a people person. So don't come over to the U.S. and be like, Supercross sucks, Feld sucks, this person sucks, and try to grow your sport. Come over and say, we're not there yet, but we'd like to globally help build this sport. to the teams. I mean, Feld's never going to like you. And I'm not trying to put Feld out. They've done a great job. But, like, competition breeds success.
100%, Steve.
Right? And and the riders have tried forever. But, again, you can't threaten. But they're not unionized. So they don't have a players association, a rider association. The teams don't have anything. And it's old school mentality. And again, maybe if I saved all those nightclubs and all the gambling, I would have actually, I'd be able to go be live right now. But you know what? I didn't. So, and I'm not Casey Wasserman or Bill Gates. So, but like, I do happen to know that they have a really good private equity, a fund involved. And the gentleman that is in that is a very good person. I'm not going to disclose any of that. I know him personally. His son was one of those informationals. And they have, a little bit about, they have real backing. And this is Supercross is not just the only thing they're in. They're in big hundreds of millions of stuff. I told him when I saw him there and I was introduced that he was doing it. And I said, like, this could work and it could really work. I've been in this space, but you're going to have to invest.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put big stuff behind it. And if they do that, so again, I understand the position, Adam, my hat's off to him and his partners for trying. But now they're coming to me and they're saying, hey, we burnt some bridges. We need the teams, this to be on the teams. Well, then, buddy, I can't help you. I can't help you because Ken Roczen's going to tell you he's not going to risk his sponsors and the money that kid makes racing what everybody says right now is Supercross and outdoors. Dustin Johnson is not leaving the PGA Tour if he doesn't get that money.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Period. He didn't go over there because it was cool. But now they're stoked. Guess what? It's a better experience. And here's what I'm going to say. Ken Roczen got treated better, got respected better, did better press, better media, better interviews, better content, better broadcast, better everything than Feld or Supercross has ever had. That I'll back. They did an incredible job, especially for their first time. Incredible job. But there's just you can't do it right now. He's controlled by Feld and by the outdoors. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's the way the manufacturers want it right now. It's the way the sport is.
Yeah.
So either the manufacturers or the riders have to go. So if you can't, and unfortunately, it's like any business. You got to invest. And my hat's off. I love them to death. They're like, we're investing in the sport. We're investing in the sport. Yeah, great. But that's not going to do it. If Liv had started without this, if I want to go take out Formula One in the U.S. now that they built it here, I better have
you need
maybe
Hamilton,
$1 billion.
You need Ricardo.
Otherwise, they're not going to build them. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. That's
there
facts.
you go.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, well, why didn't the XFL work or Arena Football? Because you don't have Dan Marino. You don't have Patrick Mahomes. It's like that simple. You don't have LeBron James.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.